Hey losers, I'm Coral. Welcome back to my channel. I'm here today with the books I'm planning on reading in September. Hopefully my reading month will be as good as my reading month last month was. Or this in August. I don't know what I'm saying. But I would love to tell you about the books that I'm hoping to pick up, starting with Mr. Magic by Kiersten White. This is a new release book. Her second adult horror novel, which her first one, Hide, was pretty good, and I'm looking forward to this one too. This one sounds so weird. This is about a group of adults who are coming together again because of a shared experience in their past, which is something I just fucking love so much. They were all co-stars on the set of this TV show called Mr. Magic. However, there is no evidence that this ever existed. There's no physical evidence. There's no film of it. It's like it didn't exist almost, but these people know that it did, and now they're brought back together by someone who might be Mr. Magic for something. I don't really know, but it sounds so exciting, and this cover is fucking fire. Just the color, the drippy rainbow TV screen. So good. Whoever designed this, A fucking plus. Then I'm picking up Unbury Carol by Josh Malerman. I'm reading this with my friend Michael. You might know him, the horror gardener. I'll leave a link to his channel. We're going to read this together. This is a horror western about a woman named Carol, no relation, who dies, but she doesn't really die. She goes into a coma and then eventually reawakens somehow. So she's done this many times, and I'm assuming, made her life a little bit complicated. And that's really all I know about this. I'd like to go in not knowing a ton, because that's just how I like to be. But I'm excited to read another Josh Malerman. The last couple I've read of his I've really liked, so I'm hoping that, the train keeps on rolling. Then I would like to pick up The Suffering by M.J. Mars. I'm trying to read more indie horror, and this one I saw a couple times and I decided to pick it up. Something about a seance and a ghost, and I don't know. They have to banish the ghosts from this house. I don't really know. But people liked it, and I am trying to read more indie horror, which is something I've not done a lot of this year, because honestly there's just there is so much great traditionally published shit coming out, and I don't have my finger on the pulse of every single indie publisher out there. So this is from Wicked House, which I don't know if I've read anything from them before, and I've never read anything by this author, but hopefully it's good. Good old haunted house possession, seance, ghost banishing ceremony book. And then on my list is The Man with the Candy, the story of the Houston mass murders by Jack Olsen. This is about Dean Coral, who was a man in Houston, obviously, in Texas, who murdered a lot of teenage boys. It's kind of an interesting story because this man, he worked in his family candy shop, so he had access to a lot of children just on a daily basis because they were coming in, and he would throw these parties and supply these teenage boys with drugs and alcohol, and some of them would be tortured and killed. And he had kind of this little cadre of teenage boys who were kind of recruiters for him, finding victims. And so it's hard because they're teenagers, but they kind of knew what they were doing, but also they were using drugs, and obviously had a diminished capacity to make good decisions. So it's sad and very brutal, and I'd like to read about it. Also, Dean Coral, no relation. And then a book that I'm pretty sure is going to break my soul. This is This Little Family by Ines Bayard, translated by Adriana Hunter. This was a novel published in French, so only because of the translator am I able to read this. Thank you so much. So this is about a young woman. It says they're, well, a couple, an affluent couple even, it says, and they've gotten their lives together in a way that they're like, okay, now we're ready to start trying to have a family, to have a baby. So she is trying to conceive, and around this time she is raped by her boss at work. Yes, I just wanted to make sure it was her boss. And then sometime later she discovers that she's pregnant and obviously does not know who the father of the fetus is. So it's very complicated and terrible, I'm sure. And it's like, I don't know, when I talk about stuff like this, I just think, why am I reading this? Like, because I know I like it, obviously, but like, does that sound appealing? Is that supposed to sound appealing when I'm like, this is a terrible story about a woman put in a terrible situation? Doesn't that sound good to you? And then I'm like, yeah, and like, I know some of you are like, yeah, but from an outside view, it probably looks like need some counseling, which is true, and I do that. So I don't know what to tell you about that, except for that those are the books I'm planning on reading this month. Hopefully I get to them. If I don't, oh well. My month is going to be a little bit busy. School started again, so I've got that. We're getting a puppy next week. She is coming home, so I will have to introduce you guys to her next time I film, and I don't know what else. That's it. So thank you so much for watching. I'd love to know what you're planning on reading this month, and if you've read any of these books I have here in front of me, I'd love to know about it. So let me know. Thank you so much. I will talk to you later.